A little while earlier, we played out for you what the political leader Asaddudin Owaisi had to say about the Prime Minister's statements. Now, a response has come in to what Owaisi had to say. From the Madhya Pradesh Home Minister Narottam Mishra, he's hit out at Owaisi's statements. He said Owaisi is speaking the language of the Congress and the British. He's against the development of women in his own community. What was the statement that Owaisi had made? Owaisi had echoed a sentiment that has come in before. He'd said that with the UCC, there would be the introduction of the Hindu code across the country. Essentially, that the Prime Minister was batting for a Hindu code and not actually a UCC. I'm going to play out for you what it is that he had to say. Then we'll connect with the reporter for more.
UCC पर सवाल उठाए हैं और कहा है कि हिंदू कोड लागू करना चाहते हैं UCC के आड़।
दरअसल ये ओबीसी जी जो हैं, ये कांग्रेस की और अंग्रेजों की जो भाषा थी वो बोल रहे हैं। जिस संविधान संशोधन का हवाला ओबीसी दे रहे हैं, उसके निर्माण आदरणीय बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर जी के द्वारा किया और वो हमेशा समान नागरिक संहिता के बाबा साहब पक्ष में रहे। वो तो नेहरू जी के कारण से उस समय में और अंग्रेजों के कारण से 1954 में और नेहरू जी के कारण से ये हिंदू सिविल कोड लाए और उस तरह की बातें करें, ऐसा इनने बोला था। राजीव गांधी जी साहबानो प्रकरण का निर्णय, उनने सुप्रीम कोर्ट के निर्णय को बदल दिया था। ओवैसी जैसे लोग अपने समाज की आधी आबादी है जो महिलाओं की, ये उनका ही पक्ष नहीं करते हैं। ट्रिपल तलाक जैसा महिलाओं के उत्थान का, बहनों के, बेटियों के उत्थान का जो था, ये उसका विरोध करने लगे। ये अभी कॉमन सिविल बोर्ड का शुरुआत इनने विरोध करने की कर दी। ये बहुत क्षुद्र मानसिकता है। हम तो उस समय भी जब कश्मीर का विषय आया था, तब भी हमारे लोगों ने एक देश में दो विधान, दो संविधान, दो निशान नहीं होना चाहिए। हम प्रारंभ से उसके पक्षधर थे।
Okay, my colleague Payal Mehta joins us live this afternoon to bring us more context on this story. Payal, good morning. Payal, we know that the opposition that has come into the UCC, if we just focus on what Asaddudin Owaisi had to say in the past too, he's essentially said that the UCC would break down the pluralism that India is celebrated for. Now, Narottam Mishra's response is not entirely on surprising lines. Can you tell us more about it, please?
Well, of course, it's a political reaction that you're seeing from Narottam Mishra. Narottam Mishra is known to speak in this particular way, as obviously he has made insinuations on Asaddudin Owaisi, questioning his intent as well. But, as far as the Prime Minister is concerned, in the entire matter, when the Prime Minister spoke yesterday in detail about the Uniform Civil Code, and in a way, set a cat amongst the pigeon, because, that has actually set the opposition in a tizzy. Now, the Prime Minister said that it is one family and one house where you cannot have two different laws for two different sons as well. So what he's basically trying to say that it is a country which is, of course, united in many ways, but even diverse then. There will be one country and one law as well. So that's the reason the push is there. It is pretty correct that, yes, in 2018, when the Law Commission tried to submit a report, they did say that at that point in time that this was not a requirement as of now. But, the government of the day, which is the BJP, throughout its entire tenure, whether it is in 2014 or even in 2019, has mentioned the Uniform Civil Code in its manifesto as well. But this is something which cannot really happen in a hurry, because one has to understand this is a very, very complex and a very diverse issue as well. There are various stakeholders who have to be taken into account. Their opinion has to be sought. The legal position will have to be sought, and that's one of the reasons you're having multiple meetings at the government level to see how this can really be done as well. There is another month's time, that is actually the Law Commission's report will be out in a month's time, is what we are given to understand from the government sources as well. So it's a long drawn process, and even if it's brought in Parliament, because there's a bit of a confusion as far as that is concerned as well, whether since it is part of the state's directive, whether states can actually bring in, because you've seen that Uttarakhand had already set up a committee and work has been in progress of implementation of UCC in Uttarakhand as well. So several BJP states are also committed to doing that. So whether that happens, or should there be a bill which has to be brought in Parliament, and should a bill be brought to Parliament, and if it is a matter of constitutional amendment, then numbers will really matter as far as the upper house of Parliament is concerned, where the BJP does not have, the NDA does not have absolute majority. So obviously all of these things are being taken into account. But before that, a legal position will have to be taken. A consolidation of all the efforts will have to be made to make sure that everybody's taken into it together. Till then, the politics will definitely continue. But of course, the intentions of the government has been made amply clear by none other than the Prime Minister himself.
Okay, Payal, I also want to ask you, some experts have expressed some skepticism that any laws or changes could actually take place before 2024, because that winter session of Parliament that we're talking about right now, when the BJP could possibly introduce these changes, that session will be around elections in Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan, all states that have key tribal communities that would be affected by these laws. What does the BJP have to say to that perspective?
Well, that's what I'm saying, that, it's going to be a very, very important issue. Like I said, that this is a political promise of the BJP. Remember, it is part of their manifesto as well. So that is something which they will obviously take into consideration. These elections to the states of Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and, of course, Telangana, amongst the others, are crucial states as well. These are the elections that are happening around the year end as well. The timing of the entire matter will be extremely crucial. Will they bring it during the winter session of Parliament remains extremely crucial. But the government is not looking at bringing the UCC in the monsoon session of Parliament. That is something which my sources in the union government have been able to confirm, because, like I said, it's a long-drawn process. But yes, a lot of thinking will have to go, and tribals have been opposing to this as well. They form a crucial vote bank as far as states like Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh in particular are concerned as well. So a lot of thought has to go into that as well. That is something which remains to be seen in terms of the timing. Yes, but before the elections next, you're going to have a very short interim budget session. Will that be the right time to introduce it just before the general elections, the big 2024 elections? Timing is going to be extremely crucial, but one will have to see how this really goes out. Like I said, that I've been speaking to various leaders in the government, and some of them are not really sure whether or not it has to be a bill which has to be brought in, because if the bill has to be brought in, it has to be passed by it has to be passed as a constitutional amendment. By a constitutional amendment, what means is that, in the Rajya Sabha, you need to have the bill passed by 2/3 majority.
Okay.
Does the BJP or the NDA have 2/3 numbers right now? The answer is certainly no.
All right. Thank you, Payal, for illustrating that for us. It's time